Hi everyone, welcome back into Primetime TV Show. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is my co-host, best friend, husband, and rock of all ages, Dennis Kelly.
I love that introduction.
How'd you like that little intro?
That was good.
You know, everybody misses you. You're not always here on the show because you're out doing other things, but we're really honored to have you back to co-host the first little segment with me because we want to let you know that we have a lot to share today because coming up in a little bit is our Dr. Gabbert. He has joined us in the past, and this is another time where he's coming in to share some really great celebratory news. Is there such a word as celebratory? If not, I must have just made it up, right?
Oh, I'm sure you did. No, it's a good word.
Well, you know, I was reviewing our show the last time that you came on, and it was quite revealing. We shared our story on how we've been living this past year, and part of it wasn't really so great, has it been?
We had our ups and downs, you know.
Yes,
especially with what I was going through, and then of course, you sort of happened to, how would I say it, handle the situation because of what was happening. It was trying, but it all turned out pretty good.
It sure did. And that's why we're here on Primetime, is to share a lot of our education. We try to learn as much as we possibly can about health, wellness, fitness, anti-aging, and all of that. But even though we may walk our talk, you never know when something can happen to even those of us that really do take good care of ourselves. So a year ago, my husband was, for those of you that did not see our show the last time, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Well, without going into a lot of the detail and fast forwarding, he's actually overcoming it. And at this point, you're 95%.
Yes, that's good, about 95%.
Still has a little bit of shakiness and everything, but what is exciting is you have done this naturally through new nutrients and through mind, body, spirit control, and really a lot of prayer and having God watching over us in so many ways and bringing us the answers that we had no answers for. You know, sometimes we just try to do it all ourselves. But when you turn it over to the higher powers, all the answers come. And this past weekend, if you're one of our Facebook friends, you probably saw a lot of my shameless promoting on how well my husband did this last 2 days. We did a certification on Qigong, and he went 9 to 5 with only 3 breaks, and we had our instructors there. And by almost the end of the 2 days, we're all off to the side needing a rest, and he's still going strong. Well, there's a lot of reason for that, because taking good care of himself, following the protocol, is really what it's all about. One thing that I want to bring up, you probably see the trophies behind us, and in the center you see this plaque, which was when you won the Battle of Atlanta when you were competing.
Right, that was in 2007. I was 69 years of age then, or 69 years young, let's put it that way.
And you came back again, and that was when you won your first place. You came back again in 2011, and you took a 3rd place, right? Was that 3rd place?
Actually, it was 2nd place.
2nd place, okay. Right. And was that the last?
I was 73 years of age then.
Was that the last time that you competed?
Yeah, that was the last time I competed.
And is that when you left all the gear in the hotel room?
It wasn't the time, but that was my last tournament.
One of those recent times,
yeah,
because
the time was before that, but I decided to come out of retirement. But that's what was so strange, because after winning the Battle of Atlanta, about a year or two after that, when I turned 70, 71, I started really going downhill. I started losing my balance, my focus and concentration. So in my last tournament I fought, I wasn't really happy with that at all. And I didn't know what was happening. I suspected it. And I didn't want to admit it. It's like burying my head in the sand. But when I, of course, got diagnosed, I realized that at that point I couldn't compete anymore.
Exactly. And that was really the beginning of what we thought was going to be the end of our business. And partly we had stopped communicating because he didn't want to tell me what was going on. I didn't want to tell him what I thought was going on, which I didn't really know, but something was going on. He wasn't able to process the simplest little things that I would say to him. And when he said he was going to give up what he loves, and that's competition, not from an egotistical point of view, but to prove to people when you take care of yourself, you can accomplish anything. I mean, through prayer, through really looking at your body as that temple to really respect and take good care of. And because you have done that all these years, when you were handed this deck of cards, and that has been coming on over the years, it was a good thing that you had already been down that road of taking good care of yourself, because then you set your body up as a healing miracle. So when the answers came, your body was ready for that.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that with Dr. Gabbard, who has been following this whole scenario and just really giving us some of his tips, because of what he has been doing is actually what you've been doing to help yourself have a better
Right.
quality of life. I want to go ahead and bring up a picture that is so near and dear to my heart, because that was when you won your first place. This was your 5th World Championship in the martial arts of full contact men's karate. And we'll show that to you, and here we go, right here. And I have to say, that was in 2007.
I was the oldest man in the history of the NASCA that won a first place in the world competition. So I was 69 when that tournament was. And in fact, the funny part of it is I fought about 20 years at the battle and never won a first place. And as I kept getting older, I kept getting better. So eventually I was able to win a first place. That was my most exciting tournament of all the tournaments.
Why is that?
Well, because 2 of the fellows I fought had beat me previously, beat me easily. So I had really, really worked really hard for this tournament, and sure enough, they showed up. And I was able to not only win, but I was able to win decisively.
Exactly. I remember that. That was awesome.
My greatest win. And then, of course, that's why, as I was going downhill, it was so sad, because I wanted to continue competing, because it was good to let people know that inside of all of us as a world champion, age is only a standard of thought. And it really, the sad part about it is so many people could do so much more if they just change their mental attitude.
Boy, isn't that the truth? I want to show a picture of the 3 of us, that's including this one trophy, because that was one that I believe it was in July 2011 here. And which place was that?
Yeah, that was in 2011.
That was just before the Battle of Atlanta.
Right.
Yes, you were gearing up for that.
No, that was after the Battle of Atlanta.
Was that after?
That's 2011. Battle of Atlanta was 2007.
Okay, that's right. So this one, look at that. I mean, we were so tickled pink, because we were trying to get the message out. Take care of yourself. Inside all of us, there really is a champion. But I want to really fast forward from those pictures and those events to this year, after the miracles began to happen in my husband's body. Now, mind you, today, he's 77. He will be turning 78 in March. Let's go ahead and show this gym picture, which is one of quite a few that I took. Gosh, that was probably about 4 or 5 months ago over at the gym.
Yeah.
And you have a standard workout that you do on a regular basis. You have heavy workouts, and then you have light workouts. You do this on a daily basis, and I kid you not, rarely does he give up maybe one day at the gym.
Well, one of the keys of overcoming Parkinson's disease, beside having the right supplements, is actually exercise, excessive exercise. That's the key. Research has proven that. And I know that I'm going to the gym more now than I've ever gone. And I feel better than I've ever felt.
Well, you look better, you're acting better, you're talking better, you're doing everything better. And to prove that, I have a couple of videos that I want to run back to back so that you can see that my husband did these machine gun kicks. Goodness. When did you do those? I mean, he's been doing these for 15 years. But I'm going to go ahead and let you take a look, and I'll let you tell them what they're doing. And then there's also one with you doing the knuckle push-ups. It still blows my mind that at his age he can still do this. Tell us about those machine gun kicks.
Well, they're very difficult to do, because you have to stand on one leg and to keep that other leg up in the air. And especially when you're kicking, not only does it take flexibility, it takes endurance and strength. And it was part of our training program. In preparing to fight, we would have to do at least 100 of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Now this video is just an abbreviation only because the gym was not long enough But normally, my husband was able to do these the full length of the aerobics room and back, all on one leg. You talk about stamina. And notice that side kick, how perfect it is. Off to the side like that,
Well,
straight
that
out.
was the kick that actually helped me win the Battle of Atlanta.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah, that was it.
That's amazing. Well, we also want to show you him doing his knuckle push-ups, because this is all part of the miracle. I mean, check this out. I mean, that's just crazy stuff. And how old? 77?
Yeah.
How many
did you know that actually I was doing more push-ups there than I was when I was actually 20 years younger?
Were you really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Gosh, I couldn't keep up with you there. I was shooting this with my little camera on my phone, and you kept going, and I'm going, gosh, I hope I have enough storage on my camera. He keeps going. So, and knuckle push-ups, are they harder to do
They're harder
than
than regular push-ups, absolutely.
So
Well, when we trained years ago, we trained out on the sidewalk in the cold 10-degree weather doing those push-ups when I was competing when I lived in Baltimore. I mean, we really had some really tough training.
Wow, it fascinates me to hear and to see what my husband has been through in the past and where we are today. And the reason why I wanted to show you all that is because last year we just did not think that would ever be possible, did we?
No, it was really tough. But you know, I said to myself at first, God, why me? Then I thought a little bit, God, why not me? Because I'm a warrior, and if I can overcome this, think of the people that I can encourage. And not so much, it's not all about me. It's about the people that normally would succumb to these things. And it's not necessary. We have inside of all of us the ability to cure any disease if we have the right mental attitude and are able to look at ourselves as an energy being, as a energy being that can actually accomplish anything if we set our mind to it.
Exactly. We have just a couple minutes before we take our commercial break. I have one more. How can I describe this? This is going to be the grand finale, is my husband's movie. And I know those of you that have been hearing about this for I don't know how many years, we keep editing the movie because there's more to tell, is The Legend of Tango Man. We are going to be getting this movie produced. We will be getting back on the dance floor. This movie is a full-out autobiography of our lives, mainly my husband's life. He wanted to have a movie done in a semi-autobiography years and years ago, but this is going to share everything that we've been through.
Well, to actually add light to that, to really help promote the movie in my latest book that's been just about finished now, is I'm going to come back in 2016 at the U.S. Open Championship, World Championship Tournament. I'm coming back out of retirement at 78 years of age, and just to prove a point. Not because I want to prove how good I am, but prove that nothing is impossible in the human engineering of the mind.
That is so very true. And the thing is that by you doing that and setting an example with our never give up attitude, it just shows by walking your talk and keeping that level of integrity with friends, neighbors, relatives, the viewing audience, to let you know that, like you say, inside all of us is a champion. One of the things that was almost heartbreaking for me was when we were on the dance floor, because my husband is a former ballroom dance champion, in addition to being a 5-time world martial arts champion. In fact, I think this was one of the pictures where we were having a little challenge on the dance floor, but we still got some moves done and everything. But you're ready to get back on the dance floor with me, I know.
Yep,
and so,
can't wait.
Yeah, and that's part of the movie. It's about dance, ballroom dance. It's about the martial arts. It's about just everything that is all about good. So I want you to stick around because my husband's going to take a little break. We're going to bring out Dr. Gabbert, and Dr. Gabbert is going to give an account for the human body, human synergy, and what we can do to help ourselves, and to share some of the things that was going on with my husband. It's called glycation. And if you have not heard about this, believe me, you are going to be fabulously happy that you tuned in with us. So I will see you back in just a little bit. Stick around after these messages. We'll see you in just a few.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today. This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Primetime TV Show. I'm your host, Barbara Marvell Kelly. With me is Dr. Gabbert, back by popular demand. How about that?
I guess so. Wow.
Do you know that we had a huge viewing audience the last time you were here?
No way.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
Nice job. You shared so much information that was very compelling, but I'm sure we have new viewers watching today. And Dr. Gabbert has actually been kind of on the sidelines watching the progress here with my husband and his nutrients and his program and all of that. Dr. Gabbert is a very well accomplished chiropractor and holistic practitioner, and you have been in for 32 years with your clinical experience and everything.
Yeah.
What made you become a chiropractor?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Well, I think we can go back to the time when my father hurt his back. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he was a hardworking guy, and one day he bent over to pick up a stick out of the yard, and down he went. And he was in severe pain. We had to carry him to doctor after doctor, and finally they suggested surgery, and he didn't really want to do that. So through a friend of a friend, we heard about going to possibly a chiropractor. We didn't really know what a chiropractor was back then. So we carried him into a chiropractor's office. They did their exam, they did their x-rays, saw where they could possibly help him, made one treatment, and he was able to walk out of the office. We carried him in, he walked out. Now, he wasn't 100%, but he was able to have such relief where now he could actually walk out. And I was very impressed with that. I was like, apparently these guys know something that all these other specialists have overlooked, and I wanted to find out what that was. I was actually studying to be an eye doctor.
Really?
An ophthalmologist, taking pre-med courses, and when I saw that really caught my interest, so I actually went out to Palmer College of Chiropractic, sat through some of their philosophy courses. I wanted to see what this was all about, and it was very intriguing, so I switched my course in life and went out and became a chiropractor. Yeah.
So you have had a very successful practice, but there's also other things that you do. You do workshops as well. Tell us a little bit about that. It's called One Body Alive. Is it
OneBodyAlive.com.
Okay.
Yes, OneBodyAlive.com. You know, about 20 years ago, I decided to pursue more in the arena of nutraceuticals. I had several practices. One was a vascular clinic. We actually hired medical doctors, and we all got together and we set out to see if what we could do to help people with cardiovascular diseases, you know, mixing it up, using the best of traditional medicine with non-traditional, complementary medicine. We learned a lot of things. We were really pioneers back then. You know, as an example, we were wondering what type of oil would help bring down your total cholesterol. Would we use fish oil? Would you use borage oil, evening primrose oil? You know, which one would actually elevate your good cholesterol? We didn't really know. So we had to, you know, they called it a practice. You know, we were practicing.
Exactly,
So, you know,
exactly.
But we were finding out which ones would do that. And so, you know, today these things are common knowledge. Back then they weren't.
No.
But that really took me into complementary medicine, alternative medicine, nutraceuticals. So several years ago, I sold my chiropractic practice and I went to work for a manufacturer of nutraceuticals in Wisconsin, and I got a chance to learn how you make nutraceuticals.
Well, that had to be fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That was your passion.
It was. Well, you know, I saw that America was waking up to the fact that, hey, there's a place for this in healthcare.
Yes.
And I wanted to be there. So what better place to go? This is right to the source, see where they make nutraceuticals, work with their PhDs, you know, how they study, how they find what elements do what had really good studies, what didn't have good studies. You know, where you buy raw materials, what are considered the best raw materials, how do you put raw materials together, you know, to target certain health problems. It was a lot of fun. I got so good I actually started formulating a few of my own products.
I was just going to ask, because I could see you leading up to something like that.
Yep.
So you learned everything about everything you needed to know in order to develop a product.
It's made me more complete as a doctor in the sense that not only, you know, do I have clinical experience, but now I also have, you know, manufacturing and the science and the art behind formulating, working with really pioneers. I enjoy working with all sorts of people right now in the area of not just human nutrition, but also animal nutrition in Wisconsin. Yes.
That's my passion too.
Even looking at fertilizers, you know, where it all begins with plants and how we grow plants. And so I love what I'm doing right now. I am in many different industries, and it's all fun.
But it's just so wonderful because this is such a great contribution to humanity. I don't think we can ever have enough people like yourself doing the research, right, getting into the thick of everything and to understand how it works right down to the soil level. I mean, you know, what's in our soil, what isn't in our soil. That has to be quite an education, and how you can apply that in everyday living and with other people so that you can get behind the science of it. That's one thing that my husband and I are very big on. is knowing the science behind how things work, knowing the science behind how our bodies work. And it is a science. Our bodies are miracles, aren't they?
Oh, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes, I like that. Fearfully and wonderfully made. So it's important for us to really understand as much as we can in order to really take good care of ourselves and know what to take, what not to take. Yeah. And sometimes we use ourselves as sort of human guinea pigs and try these different things out.
I use my kids as guinea pigs. We would formulate things nutritionally and go, well, let's give it to our family members and see what happens.
I love that.
Let's give it to our pets. I mean, they weren't things that would injure anybody, but would they taste them? Did they like the taste? Didn't like the taste? Could they swallow them? We just had a lot of fun.
How old were your children when you were doing that?
Oh, they were in grade school when I moved to Wisconsin and got into natural-based medicine. So, they were just little kids.
So that's out of the mouths of babes. You're going to know whether or not they like it or not, right?
I remember my 3-year-old daughter, Joy, we actually would put a capsule right on the back of her tongue so that she could learn how to swallow at an early age.
Very good, yeah.
And the problem was she was not only able to do it, but able to do it without drinking water after it.
Really?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So you can teach children at a small age to be able to swallow tablets and capsules. You just got to know how to do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we have just a few minutes, and we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be talking about the importance of the mitochondria, which I never even knew what that was.
Yeah.
The other thing is glycation, which is really becoming a buzzword today.
You bet.
And it's a critical buzzword. It's a very important word for us to really know the definition behind that and what it can do to our bodies. Can you give us a quick little scenario on a definition, or shall we wait till after the break? Because I know you could probably do this.
We better wait till after the break.
I knew that. Well, I just want to say stay with us, because I have noticed, we were talking about that in the first segment about my husband and how he's really improved by understanding what this glycation thing is and how to really pretty much, for a lack of a better explanation, is to clean out your cells, right?
Yes, we're going to show you how to recharge your cells and get them producing the energy that they need in order to power up and function at optimum health.
That's right, and optimal health is what we need, not just a little bit of good health, but optimal, so that we're living the best quality ever.
Yes.
In fact, Dr. Gabbert is going to do a little housekeeping before we take our break. Dr. Gabbert is going to be featured at Crescent Oaks Golf and Country Club tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. He's going to be talking live, unrehearsed, and all about what we're talking about today. So if you are in the area, please feel free to join us. And I think, is Julie doing a call-in with that? She might be doing a call-in on that. So you can get a hold of me through Barbara at TampaBayMultimedia.com, and I can answer any questions for you. But come tomorrow and you can ask Dr. Gabbert questions and things like that on what we're doing in our healthy wellness, because we're very blessed. My husband looks pretty darn good, doesn't he?
Oh my goodness, does he look? I'm afraid of him again.
You're afraid of him again. That's a good one. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we have more to share with you. So stay right where you are. Get your favorite beverage. Call a friend, a neighbor to tune in right here at WeBeam TV on the Primetime TV show, where we bring you the best of the best that we can possibly do to educate you so that you can live the best quality of life. We'll be right back after this.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today. This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Welcome back into Primetime TV Show. I'm your host, Barbara Marvel Kelly. With me is Dr. Doug Gabbert, and we're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of what's happening today, current technology, the science behind technology. Just before we took the break, I started to ask Dr. Gabbert about mitochondria and glycation, and you can start wherever you like because this is real important for you to understand. And then the next question will be how we can be more accountable for our health and wellness.
Sure. You know, one of the current statistics that we're starting to hear about is that they're predicting by the year 2050, I believe, that 1 in 3 of us will be diabetic.
1 in 3?
That's an epidemic. And so if we don't get a handle on glycemic diseases right now, I believe we'll bankrupt the healthcare system. There's just not enough money to pay for all the diseases that spin off of being overweight, or really eating a diet that's so high in simple carbohydrates. So, when I started to look at what is it in our diet that's really injuring Americans, there's several things, but can we narrow it down to maybe one thing, try to make it as easy as possible. And basically, I think most of us understand that that one thing would be the amount of simple sugars that we consume on a daily basis. Right now, probably the average American consumes about 160 pounds. 160 pounds of sugar every year, annually. Yeah. That's just way too much of one thing that's not really good for us. So we also are finding out that people drink a lot of soda in this country. I think the latest statistic I saw was that the average American consumes 55 gallons of soda every year. And the average can of soda contains, 35, 40 grams of high fructose corn syrup. So we're just getting way too much. And so we have to look at that and say, what does sugar do to the body?
Right.
I think most people, if you ask them, is sugar bad for you, they'd all go, yeah, we know that. But do you know why it's bad for you? Do you know what it does over time? And so when we started to look at what sugar does at the cellular level, we started to unlock the reasons why we're getting sick as a nation. As an example, we talked about the mitochondria, these little organelles that we find in all of our cells that have to create energy that actually the cell runs on. So when I talk about mitochondria, I kind of link them to batteries, or kind of like the battery in your cell phone. As a classic example, your cell phone's very complicated, does a gazillion different things, but they all run on a battery. Now, if we don't recharge that battery, we all know that the cell phone won't work.
Exactly.
Yep. So, and my cell phone, when the battery gets low, I get this little light that goes, low battery, low battery, you got that, yeah. So, in the human body, when we see that, what we call that is symptoms. When people start telling me there's symptoms of what's going wrong, I'm starting to think low battery. They're losing function in that part of their body. So what are we going to do to recharge our human batteries, which I call mitochondria?
And we can't take a plug and plug us in and charge us up through the wall.
I wish we could.
I wish we could too.
I wish we could. But we know that sugar, consuming too much processed sugar on a daily basis, eventually causes your cellular batteries to start to power down. It's something that we call insulin resistance. Now, insulin resistance, very simply put, is that when you consume too much sugar day in and day out, the cells get so saturated that they finally say, we've had enough of this stuff, and they start slowly closing the channels to sugar. So the sugar can't get in as much, and therefore it starts to back up into the blood. And that creates a couple problems. One is if the sugar's not getting in fully, your little cellular batteries have to have sugar in order to make energy, what we call ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. Triphosphate. So if it's not getting in fully, the mitochondria can't power up to make the energy to run the cell, so the cell starts to power down. As the sugar can't get in, it starts going somewhere, starts backing up into the blood. Well, that's not good, because when it backs up into the blood, it can literally start sticking to proteins and fats in the body. Now, wherever that happens, we call that glycation. So it glycates the tissues, and what that means is it just damages the tissue, causes inflammation. So if those sugar molecules, let's say, start sticking to the ocular proteins of the lens of the eyes, we now know that that's linked to cataracts. Yes. If it happens in the protein of the skin, collagen, well, that's what causes our skin to wrinkle to a degree, is that glycation process. If it happens in our arteries, well, we now know that that's linked to plaquing. Glycation is part of the plaquing process.
Sure.
It happens up here in the brain. Well, we now know that Alzheimer's has a linkage to glycation of our nerve cells. So we're finding out that the aging process is linked to glycation, and you can either speed it up or we can try to slow it down. Now, one of the tests that we can use out there is called the glycated hemoglobin A1C test. I would recommend everybody who's watching this show today go out and get their A1C tests done. You can either go to your doctor, local hospital sometimes offers these tests for a small fee, or you can go to Walmart or CVS or some of these others. They have these kits that you can buy, A1C kits. Take it home, prick your finger, and you know your A1C score within a matter of just 5 minutes. But the A1C score basically measures hemoglobin. It's a protein in the blood that's become glycated. So they're measuring how much hemoglobin's become glycated. And that's linked to how much sugar you have floating around in your blood. And so really a doctor will run that test, and it will tell the doctor what your blood sugar's been doing for, the last 2 to 3 months.
Really? That far back?
Okay, that far back. Gives you an average.
Wow.
Yeah. So we can tell whether you're cheating or not.
Ah,
yeah.
I see.
So, but it tells us more than just that. It tells us how much hemoglobin's glycated. So the higher the score, the higher the glycation that's occurring in your body, and the less energy that's being produced. Because the more sugar that's backing up in the blood, sticking to proteins and fats, the less sugar that's getting in, glucose that's getting in, and therefore the cell can't power up to make the energy that the cell has to have in order to run at optimum health. And the more specialized the cell, the more energy it must produce. If we look at the cells of the eyes, I believe the eye cell contains about 300 to 400 mitochondria per cell. It takes a lot of energy for you to see. And so the mitochondria is very important. We now, I shouldn't say we, researchers are saying that they feel they found the fountain of youth within the human body, and it's traced back to the cell and back to the mitochondria. So if we can keep the mitochondria, those little organelles, happy and healthy for as long as we can, you'll be healthy and happy for a long time. That's really, in longevity medicine, you have to be here. Mitochondrial medicine is here. It is the future. And so you're going to hear a lot more on how to protect the mitochondria from damage, mutation. How can we make them last longer? How can we feed them correctly? How can we get them to power up, recharge? And how can we grow new mitochondria? And that's some new science that's out there too, biogenesis. So really, as we look at the human health today, looking at our diet, looking at the amount of processed foods and sugars that we consume, we have to look at that and say, this is how it's hurting us. This is how sugar is damaging our body. It's just not a matter of making you more prone to diabetes, but you're going to be more prone to glycation, and that is what's really injuring people. If you look at a diabetic, Barb, most type 2 diabetics, if you analyze their skin is about 30% or more glycated than the normal individual. So they're glycating all over the place. Also, their cells are powering down because you're insulin resistant before you actually get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
You know, this really makes a lot of sense, and we have just about a minute or so before our break. But I would guess that I know very little compared to what you and so many professionals out there know, but I pick up and glean here and there. But I've learned also that when you have that glycation, that fat binds also, there's that stickiness and binds to the toxins. Would that keep people from losing weight as well?
Well, again, in order to maintain proper weight, we have to have everything functioning at optimum levels. So your endocrine system, the thyroid, the adrenals, are very much involved in weight maintenance and weight gain. Sugar in itself, when you consume it, if it's simple sugars, it causes your insulin to spike, go up real quick. Well, insulin is considered the fat hormone.
Yes.
So it tells your body, make fat, make fat. In fact, most people that have high cholesterol, it's not so much because of the fat in their diet, it's because of the amount of sugar they're consuming on a daily basis. So when you consume sugar, insulin goes up, and if it stays up chronically, your liver starts making cholesterol to offset the high insulin. So we just need to be aware that now high cholesterol can be linked to too much sugar in the diet due to too much insulin going up and staying up. And insulin, unfortunately, if it's chronically elevated, it will injure your body. In fact, there's now some new research out showing that those diabetics that are taking certain medications that cause the pancreas to dump more insulin, because that's what we're doing when we're insulin resistant, so the sugar's not getting in, so we're going to force it in. Well, sometimes we can take certain medications that can cause the pancreas to dump more insulin, to drive it in, but in order to do that, we have to elevate the insulin. And that over time can cause injury. So we're having to rethink how we do things
Exactly.
now. We're learning new things.
And I'm glad for that. I'm so
Yes.
glad that we're doing that
Yes.
because this is cutting edge technology
It is,
that isn't
yes.
really rocket science. We're going to share some of the things that we can do when we come back. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the secret. And I love when you talk about the fountain of youth and all this new technology, which has been there, but it's just now being discovered. So I love it. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today. This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome back into our final segment of Primetime TV Show. And actually, the one thing that I want to say to you is, are you powered up or are you powered down? And if you're wondering what we mean by that, well, we've been talking about what happens to our bodies, very similar to what happens with a cell phone when you lose your capability to talk. It powers down. Same thing happens in our bodies. And just before that, we were talking, you were giving kind of like a really good scientific explanation of what happens to our bodies with glycation, the importance of the mitochondria, and getting us really powered back up. And that's what my husband's been doing for less than a year. Now, are you working with, I know you've been working with a lot of different nutrients and different nutraceuticals and all of that, but what is it that you're working with these days?
I've had companies in the past, bring me products to analyze and to give opinions about. And so really some of the things that I'm sharing with you today come from a company that gave me a product that had something that was very rich in rice peptides. And they said it did all these wonderful things. So I had to analyze, I had to investigate, I had to look at how the product worked at the cellular level. And as I was doing that, I started to see how the product worked, especially how it impacted mitochondrial function. And it started to open doors for me that I had never walked through before. I started to see things, started to connect dots, and I was like, wow, I never knew about glycation until I started to investigate this product. I learned about glycation. I looked at mitochondrial dysfunction. I looked at ATP deficiencies. When ATP starts to go down in the cell, what goes wrong? Genes can switch on, switch off depending on levels of ATP within the cell. Didn't know that before. So, working with some of these rice peptides, we started to see how they could impact the cell level. And one of the things that we started to notice was they had a profound effect on the mitochondria and how it could make ATP.
I was just going to ask about that.
I started giving this product to people that had all sorts of different health challenges, and it was really very supportive. I was like, how could it address all these problems? Because we're used to targeted nutrition.
Sure.
People came in with a specific health challenge. We would look at nutritional things that would help that challenge. But here was a product that seemed to help a variety of health challenges. I was like, how did it do that? So I started to realize that this product had the ability to feed the mitochondria and make all the difference in the world. In fact, we took it into a university. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I just wanted to be able to say, what this product, these peptides could do that and impact ATP levels. And so we went in, they made a little student project out of it, and we had bought some live cells, and we took these peptides and we fed these cells these peptides. We used the chemical of the firefly that when we create ATP would light that chemical and we would see it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The professors were like, how'd you do that? Yeah. And so that's like, okay, I had all I wanted.
That's all you needed, right?
I didn't want to spend any more money than that. I could see that in vitro we could do that, and that gave me more confidence to be able to say that yes, certain rice peptides can do that. And so, we're working with different types of proprietary technology to create rice peptides that have a particular weight and charge that can penetrate the cell and impact function. So these are things that I'm working with other people. That's fascinating, and we're just doing a lot of good, helping a lot of people. And we don't use these things to diagnose or treat.
Right.
People ask me, will this help this? I'm going, I don't know. It's just good food.
It's good. It's nourishment.
Functional food, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And let's see what your body can do.
Exactly.
Your body's the wonder. It's really the miracle. And so we're seeing the body respond very well. But I think we're touching on something that's very important. Most people that I see that have health challenges, they really are missing two things. They can't produce enough energy at the cellular level, and they don't have enough peptide, what I call the building blocks, to repair and regenerate. You really need these two things going on. We've got to power up, and then we've got to supply the building blocks so your body can take them, repair, and regenerate.
Right, so it's optimal.
It's
optimal.
So those two things, if you can supply those two things.
Yes.
And here's the other thing that we've also noticed. as an example, every cell has what we call an amino acid transport system. That transport system runs on ATP, yes. But if the intracellular levels of ATP are down, then the transport system can't transport nutrients from the cell wall into the cell where they can do any good. So you might be eating all organic food, you might be taking all these supplements, those nutrients eventually make their way to the cell wall, and when they get there, they don't all just go in. A lot of them have to be transported in. So that transport system has to be functioning at optimum levels so that you can get optimum usage of the nutrients that's coming from your food and from your supplements.
So it's absorbed.
It is.
100%.
So that's where we like to start. Let's get the ATP going. Let's get the energy up in the cell. Let's turn everything on so everything else works properly.
It's amazing technology. It really is. And these rice peptides are we only have 2 minutes left here before we close our show. I can't believe it's gone by so fast. But these are a highly concentrated peptide, are they?
Yeah, it takes about 60 pounds of rice just to make a pound of this particular product. So highly concentrated. We're centering on a part of the rice grain and harvesting the proteins, breaking those proteins down into small amino acid chains, breaking those chains into smaller chains.
Nano.
Yeah.
Okay, so it gets right in.
Micronizing this and that.
Yes.
And we're learning that as you start to break amino acid chains down, hydrogen protons can accumulate on the end of those chains. Well, those hydrogen protons are high energy molecules. Well, the mitochondria loves that. They want high energy stuff coming to them because that's what they're using to turn things into ATP, the liquid energy that the cell runs on. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun, even selectively choosing different types of grains of rice, even purple rice. Purple rice has a lot of health benefits, so I'm working with a company that has grown their own family of purple rice. They share patents on that family with the Thai government. And so we're looking at combining families of rice to make a more nutritional family of rice, and this can be done naturally.
Naturally. Yeah. That's what I love. If we can, gee whiz, reverse the aging process somehow and help ourselves live a more quality of life just by being accountable and really doing what we need to do to be the best we can possibly be. Now, I just want to let you know that Dr. Gabbard is going to be over at Crescent Oaks Golf and Country Club tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. If you want to show up, just come on over and join us all. We're going to be sharing a lot of stories. My husband will be there to share his story on these very same peptides that he's been taking for less than a year. And again, we want to remind you that your body is the miracle.
That's right.
And your body, if it is fed the nourishment and you do what you're supposed to do, it will help you. It becomes the miracle.
It does.
It does. Dr. Gabbard, thank you so much.
You betcha.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night and next time you return.
Can't wait.
I know. Thanks for joining us on Primetime TV Show. We'll see you next Monday. Next Monday, we have HSN Memory Lane. That's going to be a lot of fun. Some of my colleagues from HSN are going to be joining me. So stay tuned there and have a great week.
All right.
Boy, that went fast.
That did.
Didn't that go fast? Could you hear us, honey?
Cow.
Oh, good. Good.